Once more, there was an uproar in the room as people began talking. A few of them peered over to watch the shamans, but there was no reaction from the shamans. It was almost as if they were deliberately tuning out the questions and prodding looks. Cole stood. "But, Elder, that has never happened before." "Exactly. Even the shamans have never experienced a vision that was so strong and so similar to each other. In fact, they all had an identical vision," emphasized Rain. "Why would the shamans have a vision regarding those foul creatures?" Cole couldn't bring himself to say their name. By acknowledging them, he would make them real. The fear of those terrible monsters was such that nobody even liked to talk about them. Known to be the oldest and most powerful and strong of God's creations, they were so violent and bloody that even God was not pleased with them. They were banished to purgatory, from which there was no escape, but they tried anyway. "This is baffling, but as you know, sometimes shamans have visions that are not directly related to one person, but rather to the whole of humanity," said Rain. He'd already chalked out a plan with the others. Soon they would all be in position. Today, they couldn't let Rain out of their sight for even a few moments, but the most important thing was that one of them needed to be in the temple for the whole day, at least until Rain was gone. After quite a few deliberations and studies, they had realized that the solar eclipse would last for 1.5 hours, and that was the most crucial time. Still, Cole was feeling uneasy about staying in the temple. He'd volunteered for the job, despite protests to do this. Out of them, he was more prepared to duel with Rain when the Elder came inside the temple, and also, he couldn't risk shadowing Rain today, as the Elder had seen and marked him yesterday. It was better to remain away from his prying eyes and lull him into thinking that everything was okay. Of course, Rain was too cunning to fall for that ploy, but they needed to try as best they could. Soon, this would be over. That's all he could think about. When they were free, they could all resume their life and be back to normal. But until then, they had to remain on their guard. On one hand, he wished that nothing would happen, and on the other hand, he prayed that they had accurately predicted the day. If Rain moved today and they thwarted him, this would be over. All their worries would come to an end. And if Rain won, they would have new worries. But at least this particular period of waiting and preparing would be finished. After he changed and dressed, Cole packed his bags. One way or the other, he intended to leave this place tomorrow. Hopefully, Rain would carry out his plan, and they would stop him. He would leave with Mira tomorrow and begin a new life. He couldn't wait to start his time with her. Cole wanted her to enjoy life now that she'd agreed to leave behind the shamans and the mountains. He desired to show her the world. Almost as if on cue, there was a knock on the door. "Who is it?"